Love has puzzled philosophers for centuries. Is it an end in itself, a final goal to pursue, or merely a vehicle, a means by which we reach something higher, something more profound? Socrates, the great Athenian thinker, approached this question not by giving a simple answer, but by guiding us to examine our desires, our souls, and the nature of beauty itself. In Plato's dialogues, especially the Symposium, Socrates presents a view of love that transcends physical attraction or fleeting passion. He introduces us to the concept of love as a ladder, a process of ascent. According to Socrates, we often begin our understanding of love with a basic, almost instinctual desire for physical beauty. At first, we are drawn to a particular person, captivated by their appearance, their charm, or their presence. This is not condemned. Rather, it is the starting point, the very first step of our journey. In fact, Socrates tells us that even this simple physical attraction is necessary because it awakens within us the longing for something greater. But love in its highest form is not merely about bodies or transient pleasures. Socrates encourages us to recognize that beauty exists beyond the individual, beyond mere physicality. Each beautiful body we admire reminds us that beauty itself exists, that it is universal and eternal. And here Socrates introduces the first essential principle. Love is a ladder, a means of ascending toward the divine, the eternal, the spiritual. From this perspective, love is not the ultimate goal. It is a tool, a bridge between the human and the transcendent. It teaches us to move from the particular to the universal, from admiration of a single individual to the contemplation of absolute beauty. Through this process, the soul grows. It learns to appreciate not just the surface, but the essence of what is true, good, and beautiful. Socrates further explains that love compels us to strive for virtue. When we are inspired by beauty, we are also inspired to become better versions of ourselves. The admiration we feel for another person becomes a reflection of what we wish to cultivate within ourselves: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. In this sense, love is transformative. It pushes the soul toward moral and spiritual elevation. Yet love is not merely self-improvement for the sake of ego. It is relational. It teaches us empathy, patience, and understanding. By recognizing the value of beauty and goodness in another, we learn to see it within ourselves and in the world. This relational aspect is central to Socratic philosophy. Love binds the human experience with the pursuit of truth, and it binds individuals together through shared aspiration for the good. But what about the idea of love as a goal itself? Socrates does not reject this entirely. The experience of love, the emotional and intellectual connection we feel, can be profoundly fulfilling. The joy of contemplating beauty, whether in a person, an idea, or the world, can indeed be seen as a form of happiness. However, Socrates warns us that if we stop there, if we treat love merely as an end for pleasure, admiration, or comfort, we risk stagnation. Love then becomes shallow, temporary, and ultimately unfulfilling. True love, Socrates would argue, is dynamic. It is a continuous journey of elevation, a process by which the soul climbs from desire to understanding, from admiration to insight, from particularity to universality. Every step in this ascent is meaningful, and yet none of them are the final destination. The goal is the development of the soul itself, and in that sense, love is primarily a means, a method through which the human spirit grows closer to truth and to the divine. In conclusion, from the Socratic perspective, love is far more than a romantic or emotional experience. It is an intellectual and spiritual exercise, a pathway that begins in the physical world but leads to the contemplation of eternal forms. It is a means for achieving moral insight, self-awareness, and spiritual growth. While love can certainly be delightful and enriching in itself, its true value lies in the way it transforms us, guiding the soul toward higher understanding. Thus, when you ask whether love is a goal or a means, Socrates would gently remind you, it is primarily a means, a sacred ladder that elevates the soul. And yet, at each step of the ascent, the soul experiences joy, wonder, and a glimpse of the divine. Love is both humble and profound, ordinary and extraordinary. It begins with desire, but it never ends there. It always calls us to rise, to learn, and to become more than we were before. If this journey opened a door in your mind, step through it, subscribe, and let's keep rising together.